So I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I don't even know how to start it, but I'm just, I guess, documenting it for myself just to know when I found out. Like the video says, I found him. And I always knew I was going to find him the way I found him. I don't know how to explain that, but I always knew. Before you write anything, I know I need a haircut, all right? I'm trying something new, but I got to get trimmed up and blah, blah, blah. I'm not a guy that likes cutting my hair. Anyways, found out about 3, 4, oh, 3, 2 days ago. 3 days ago? 3 days ago. 3 days ago. Only people that know is my mom, my friend Jim, and my friend Rusty, who I work with, which is my boss. But because I haven't had a chance to tell anybody, and I didn't want to tell everybody one by one, so I know people are going to be asking, so here's the video. So it all started with my friend Jim, which he's like an older fella. He has a daughter. It's like 40 something years old, and she found a son on Ancestry. Well, a brother on Ancestry, and Jim has always been looking for his son. He's been looking, but never could get connected somehow. Problems after problems. Anyways, I told him, yeah, I have an ancestry also, and I'm Spaniard for some reason. Like, I can't explain it, but I'm Spaniard. I have a big percentage of Spaniard in me, and I was gonna show him all the matches, right? Because it shows you matches, and I have thousands of matches, right? But on my mother's side, I already know everybody on my mother's side. I can find anything on my mother's side. On my mother's side, shoot, I don't know. I got cousins and all kinds of stuff, but I know where they're at. They're in El Salvador. That's it. They're all over there. In the U.S., I only have my mom, my half brother, and my 2 half sisters. That's it. That's all I got. Right? In the whole U.S., that's basically what I got. So I had all these people on Ancestry matches, all third cousins and fourth cousins, but we're talking about hundreds of them everywhere. I mean, you're talking Australia, there's some in Spain, there's some in, they're all over the place. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, like all over the place. Which I don't know any of these people. So I opened the app to show him, all these connections I got. Mind you, I about 2 years ago, I had someone pass, and it wasn't envy, it wasn't jealousy. It was more like I don't know. I liked what he had, or what he has, which is just the whole big family thing, right? Having your dad, having your mom, blah 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 blah. But anyways, so I did an ancestry thing. I was like, okay, maybe I could find him, right? But I always knew that if I ever found him, for some reason, I always knew he was going to be either one, hard to find, somewhere I couldn't see him, or dead. Long story short, I open up the app, I show my friend all the connections, and when it opens up, I get a notification. And I had another connection, which was always a fourth cousin, a fifth cousin, third cousin, some crap like that. It's never been close. Never been close. All of a sudden, this guy is as close as my half brother. I'll just give the first name. His first name is. So I got to writing him, and to him it was a mystery. I was like, oh man, okay, here we go. And I asked him, so I want to figure out how we're related. That's pretty close. So I already kind of had an idea. I was like, there's no way. I'm sorry. I mean, he's Hispanic. The likelihood of not being a rabbit is pretty low. I know I'm a rare commodity since I got no kids and I'm Hispanic and I'm over 30 now. That would be extremely low. So, anyways, I knew he was a brother or a cousin or an uncle, something like that. Going through it all, starts telling me, he's like, no way. And he's trying to figure it out himself. And he couldn't believe it. Again, long story short, my father and his mother had 7 kids together. When he was 2 years old, his mother left him. His mother left our father because he was abusive and stuff. So they left. Well, he left. She left him. So, yeah. I guess they went to a home that takes care of women that are, being abused. And he about 4 years ago decided he wanted to find him too, because he never met him either. The guy's 33. So the guy starts looking. The good thing is he does have a good foundation because he 7 brothers. I mean, the guy at least knew his whereabouts and stuff. So he tracked down his uncle, he tracked down his grandmother, and it turns out the uncle and grandmother are still alive. This is where it gets interesting. So, turns out he had another family in Mexico. So as he was finding all this stuff, luckily, to him it's no biggie. He just wanted to find out. He already knew. He kind of knew what was going on. So there's 8 of them in Mexico. They all share the same last name, which is Gonzalez. I'll wait for the whole name thing. So it turns out the grandmother knows all the history of the family, history of everything. So turns out I am part of the Cortez family, which is the Spaniards, and according to what he found out and all the paperwork and blah blah blah, a Spartan, or at least a descendant of a Spartan. But Cortez family, go figure. I always knew there was something different. So after I got this information, first I had pictures, right? So I had to confirm it. So I said, "Do you have pictures?" And he goes, and he sends me pictures, which I have never seen before. And I showed him my pictures. And after I showed him my pictures, it clicked. He definitely figured out that it was his father. It was my father. I told him, "Hey, do you have this car? Did you ever have this car? Did you ever have this motorcycle?" Because my father brought a car and a motorcycle around that he would drive around, right? And he would cuss and be like, "You mother, no way," all this stuff like that, son, all this stuff, right? So I was like, okay, cool. So, sorry about the wind. Hopefully, it's not hitting you guys. So, found out all that stuff. A little backstory on my name. So, my name is Jorge Luis Santos. His first question was, why is your name not Gonzalez? Well, I got my name from my mom and my grandmother. So my grandmother gave me basically her name. I'm the last Santos in the I think I am the last Santos. Especially in the US, I'm the only one. But so I have my last name. My middle name is my uncle's name, Luis. My first name is supposed to be my father's name, my real father's name. That's why I'm named Jorge. Turns out that's not his real name. When I first told my mom this, she was very emotional. I did not understand. I was like, what the heck are you getting emotional for? It's like, she was like, oh, I'm sorry I couldn't give you a father and blah, 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 blah. And all I could tell her is, I'm fine. It's like, I'm happy. I have, you know, sometimes it's better to have father figures than an actual father. I've had quite a bit of good examples of what a father should be. So that really didn't bother me. At least that's what I told myself for a while. I thought it wasn't gonna affect me or anything, but just the fact that I'm named after a fraud or a lie, or I don't know what you would call it. I thought it wouldn't bother me. But the last 2 days, all I've been doing is just playing music and practicing and staying to myself. Anybody that knows me, I hate being outside. I can't explain to you why the hell I'm walking. I like to pride myself on being able to figure out stuff pretty fast. I'm trying to process things. It's helped me out a lot in music and all the stuff that I do. I don't know how to feel about this one. That's literally what I'm named after. I've always liked my name. I like my Santos and Luis, even though I don't talk to my uncle, but it's one of the reasons why I don't drink. So I got a reminder of why I don't drink my middle name. So going through all this, you know, I come to find out kind of what they all do. And I just gotta keep telling myself the same thing I told my mom. Got lucky. He had 7 kids with her and 8 kids with the other one. Can you imagine what my life would have been if he would have stuck around and my mom would have 7 or 8 kids? Damn. You know, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party. I don't do those things. You might hear me cuss here and there. If you want to call that a fault, call it a fault. But I've never had kids. Really, the main reason is I always tell myself that I want to buy a house before I have a kid, but I don't know if deep inside the reason why I don't have a kid is because I don't want to be my own dad. yeah, now you know the backstory of this. So he got shot. He got shot in 2010 in front of a church, in front of his kids. Nobody else got hurt, but he got shot and killed. Turns out he was really, really good friends with someone called El Abuelo in Atalcatepec, Mexico. I could barely say that. And that guy is one of the head, you could say head cartel people. So he had three families if you connect my mom for a couple years. Right? He didn't come around. He came around until I was about 4. So to afford all that, cars, brand new motorcycles, he died in 2010. I mean, a pretty successful drug guy, if I might add. You know, you last that long, all the way up to 2010. Man, I had a fat check coming. I never checked it out. Anyways, I do find peace that I have figured out that he already passed. One, I figured out my path, like where I'm from, who I'm from, what his real name is. Benjamin Mendoza. It has a middle name, but I can't remember it. I have to look at the notes. Hopefully, after talking about it and putting it out there, I can get past it and just move on. I mean, I made it 35 years. I think I can make another 50. Halfway there. Before anybody says anything, I've had gray hair my whole life. Literally my whole life. I've had a gray spot in the back of my head. Started with one, and then it grew from the back of my head to the front. I don't know how to finish this, but a lot to wrap my head around. But I mean, really, if I really think about it, there ain't much to wrap my head around. I mean, now I just gotta meet people, I guess. They're not far. Not far at all, less than 100 miles. For at least the family in LA, and then the rest of them are in Mexico. I guess my grandmother is still alive. My uncle is still alive. This will probably be the only video I make about this. But I'm just making it as a note for myself. Anybody else has something like this crap happen to you? Where you're named after someone that doesn't even exist? Anyways, all right. Hope you guys have a great week, great year. See you guys.